Hello and a really warm welcome. I'm so glad you're here. If you found your way to this video, chances are you've heard the term cold womb or cold uterus, and it's probably left you feeling a little confused, maybe even a bit worried. Well, I want you to know you've come to a safe place for a clear and, most importantly, a gentle explanation. The language that gets thrown around on the fertility journey can feel so heavy sometimes, and it's just so easy to take that on board. But I really want you to hear this. Your body is not a problem that needs to be fixed. You are not broken. This is your unique path. And today, we're just going to add a new way of understanding, not a new reason to worry. My whole goal here today is to pull back the curtain on this phrase, to demystify it, and hopefully to transform any of that fear into a feeling of gentle empowerment. So just take a soft breath, get comfortable, and let's explore this together. Okay, so let's dive right in. The very first and honestly the most important thing to know is where this term even comes from. This is not a Western medical diagnosis. It's a concept that's deeply rooted in the holistic world of traditional Chinese medicine, or TCM for short. So what does cold womb actually mean? Well, in TCM, it's really just a descriptive name for a pattern. It suggests that the body's internal environment might be lacking a bit of the warmth and the really good circulatory flow that's considered ideal for fertility. It's all about balance and energy, not about disease. Let's be really clear on this. Your uterus is not physically cold to the touch. This has nothing to do with a thermometer reading. It's a beautiful, almost poetic way of describing the quality of energy, what we call qi, and the blood flow in and around the pelvic area. It's simply a way of observing the body's internal climate. To make this even easier to understand, TCM uses this lovely metaphor. I want you to picture the uterus as a garden, a secret, special place where a new seed is going to be planted and hopefully will be nourished. And this just makes so much sense, right? For any seed to sprout and really thrive, its garden needs warm sunshine, it needs soil that's well irrigated and not stagnant, and of course it needs rich nutrients. So the cold womb pattern simply suggests that our garden might need a little more sunshine and maybe some better irrigation to be as welcoming as it can be. So you might be wondering, where does this warmth come from in TCM theory? Well, it's mostly connected to something called kidney yang. A great way to think of kidney yang is like your body's internal pilot light. It's that gentle, steady flame that provides the warming energy for all of your body's functions, everything from digestion to reproduction. Okay, let's look at how this pattern might show up in the body. And please remember, these are just observations that a practitioner might notice. This is not a checklist for you to diagnose yourself. Every single body tells its own unique story. So what might someone actually notice if that internal pilot light is burning just a little bit low? Well, it can show up in ways that might actually feel quite familiar to you. Some of the common signs are things like consistently cold hands and feet. That feeling where you always need a warm drink to feel comfortable. Or maybe it's period cramps that just seem to melt away with the comfort of a hot water bottle. A practitioner might also see other clues, like a tongue that's a little on the paler side, or notice that menstrual blood is darker. It can also just feel like that persistent sense of being run down, like you're a candle that's burning just a little too low. These are all just clues to the body's internal climate. So if this is a pattern of imbalance, how can something like acupuncture help? Well, the entire philosophy is about gently encouraging your body back towards its own natural state of balance. See, acupuncture isn't about forcing the body to do something it doesn't want to do. It's more like a conversation. It's a way of using very fine needles at specific points to gently remind the body's own amazing regulatory systems how to function at their best. It's all about encouraging communication and flow. A practitioner might focus on 3 key things. First, encouraging circulation, just to make sure that all that nourishing blood is flowing freely to our garden. Second, using very specific points that are known to gently support that internal pilot light, that kidney yang. And third, and this is so important, helping to calm the entire nervous system, which creates a state of deep rest where the body can heal and become so much more receptive. Now, there's a really interesting complementary therapy that often goes hand in hand with this, called moxibustion, or moxa for short. A practitioner will burn a small bit of a dried herb called mugwort and just hold it over specific acupuncture points. It never touches the skin, but it creates this amazing, pleasant, penetrating warmth that's used to gently introduce that warming energy right into the body. The good news is, beyond the treatment room, there are some wonderfully simple and nurturing ways you can support your body's warmth at home. And these aren't meant to be strict rules, just gentle invitations to offer yourself a little bit more care. It can honestly be as simple as wearing cozy socks to keep your feet warm, or just resting a hot water bottle on your lower belly while you relax in the evening. In Chinese medicine nutrition, there's a big emphasis on choosing warm, cooked foods like soups and stews over cold, raw foods like salads or ice-cold drinks, because they're seen as so much easier for the body to digest. And of course, prioritizing rest is probably one of the most powerful things you can do to support your entire system. As we start to wrap up, I just want to leave you with one final and I hope very reassuring perspective to hold on to as you walk your own unique path. What is so fascinating is how different systems of medicine can look at the same thing through a different lens. In Western medicine, we know that the hormone progesterone, which is absolutely crucial for sustaining a pregnancy, causes a noticeable rise in your basal body temperature after you ovulate. In TCM, we talk about the rise of yang energy to warm the garden. The language is totally different, but the wisdom is the same. A warm, nourished, and receptive uterine environment is a good thing for conception. So above all else, please, please remember this. Fertility is not a simple A plus B equals C equation. It is a complex dance of countless factors, and your journey is yours and yours alone. This information is only offered as a tool for deeper understanding and self-compassion. It is never, ever a reason for blame or a new standard you have to live up to. So I'll leave you with this question to just reflect on. What is just one small, gentle way you can offer support and nourishment to yourself today? It doesn't have to be a big thing. It just has to be kind. Thank you so much for spending your time with me and for your trust. Please remember that this information is for educational purposes only, and it's not a substitute for professional medical advice. Be well.